trying to do too many things.
We're live. Lydia's saying
Literally
good morning.
Live right now. Huh? All right.
We are.
All right. My bad. I'm like garden. Couldn't figure out why I had a row in my garden that wasn't growing anything. And then what I realized is the row beside it is sprouting everything. I double planted a row.
Oh, nice.
So I may have...
Here, compared to Texas, I feel like I've seen so much more rain than I ever did in Texas. But I think when we had moved, it had been like 60-ish days since we had seen any rain. And then we moved here, and it was almost like 3 weeks straight of rain. And I was like, is it always like this? And everybody was like, no, this has been a really wet year. And I'm like, okay. And then
I don't know. I feel like it rained a lot last year too.
That's what I was like.
I think it's just
tells me they get enough rain.
And it's watering my garden I'm just going to call it the Frankenstein row. I may have some really sweet peas or some really, but yet my wife keeps asking me to do them, plant the garden. And I'm like, I enjoy the planting part.
Right.
But I don't care for a garden. Like, I don't have
You don't have that green thumb that's
I kill pretty much everything but I'll also work on it pretty hard for the first week or two, and then I'm like, meh.
Yeah, Claire and I
get bored with it.
We had shrubs at our house in Texas that we somehow managed to kill. And so we took the shrubs out and replaced it with rocks because we knew that a rock garden would be fine. And then we took the rocks out and we replaced it with cactus because we felt like if we killed cactus, we just weren't meant to grow anything.
You weren't meant to grow anything.
And so I was like, yeah, if we could kill the cactus. The thing with the sprinkler system, watered our shrubs and still we killed them. I don't know how we did it.
Coming off a good weekend, Memorial Day weekend.
Big weekend.
Yeah, big weekend. I saw a lot of boats, a lot of people outside looking like they were going to the lake, a lot of people at the rivers, a lot of people at the beaches, man. Everything. Governor Ivey said we can open back up.
We went and ate lunch kind of, Sunday after church lunch. We went and did that and sat in a restaurant, and it was just nice.
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine Sunday morning at church. And we were just talking about, because I've had a lot of churches call me and be like, hey, dude, what are y'all doing? Just bouncing ideas off of everybody.
Yeah.
And
you mean other churches can collaborate?
Oh, I know, it's crazy, right? Like we're not the only ones going to heaven. How crazy. But anyway, they, but we were talking about how, I had one call and they were like, what are the pros and cons of what y'all did to open? I said, everything seems to work fine. I'm not out there a lot, but I know the impact team's out in the parking lot. We've got some of our hospitality team so excited to just get back, get around people. And that's what we were talking about Sunday morning, because I was telling this guy, I was like, all the pros, I was like, man, this worked well and this worked well and everything. And he said, well, what's the con? I said, the only con is don't expect anybody to adhere to the social distancing guidelines.
Yes.
Because everywhere I've gone, I've seen they've opened. I mean, you could set everything out the way it's supposed to be set, but people are we were meant for relationships. I think we take for granted the day-to-day interactions that we have with people. And then on Sundays, just the interactions that we have with people. Even the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Even the kids. My kids are like, ha! Dylan had a birthday little thing. There were, I don't know, half a dozen teenage boys over. But just watching and hearing laughter and all of that. And for several of them, it's been pretty much the first time they've been out and about around other kids. So, but sports are starting up.
Yeah.
So kids will be out and about and able to come and go and do a little more.
Yeah, I would say out of some salt and pepper on my fries. It's just not. It's just not there, and I go, it's kind of.
And everybody's got paper menus.
Yes,
I've seen that.
all
it's paper menus.
Yeah.
I went into Applebee's to grab Cassie a salad, and they made me stop. They made me answer 4 questions off a board. Have you coughed today? I found that one just hilarious. I mean, have you coughed today?
Yeah, probably.
I don't have a thing in my notebook that says I coughed this many times or I sneezed this many times, and it's still pollen season. And so it's I was like, no, I didn't. I just wanted a salad, so I just said no to everything. That's what I do when I go to the
somehow
VA.
you gotta
That's what I go to. I go get my physical.
Do you get salads often at the VA?
No, I just answer no at the VA all the time. If they ask you a question, just answer no.
Just answer no.
Just
Secret
no.
VA. It's what the funniest thing to watch is the live aspect of it is what like scares people.
Mm-hmm.
And so and you can tell like there are people who are just nervous about being in front of a camera, and then adding that live aspect to it. It like bumps those nerves even higher.
Yeah, my wife said she's not coming anywhere near her because she never knows what we're gonna say. She's like, I can't just come off the cuff. I don't know what you're gonna say, and even if you told me what you were gonna say, you would change it. And I'm like,
I think they would be a great addition to the show.
They give a perspective.
Yes, and so I go. So, what do you do? How do you? I feel like a bunch of the guests we've had are like, well, what are we going to talk about? And we're like, well, whatever we feel led to talk about, I guess.
I found it amusing this past weekend. Past 2 weeks, man, there are a lot of faces I do not know.
Yeah.
And it's easy to recognize them now because I can see. There's not 500 chairs in there. There's, they're all spaced out. So
I'll come to my email. So I need to remind myself to turn that email off.
You don't like the 4,000 notifications?
They all I feel like our camera's moving. Or our tripod. See, look, there we go.
Oh! Well, that don't happen often. That's kind of slow motion.
I'm pretty impressed with watching that happen. Well, that leg has to come down.
Okay.
There you go.
If you're watching.
Technical difficulties.
This is what we call gremlins.
But in your aspect of talking about like names and faces that we haven't seen, I have gone. It's pretty impressive to see the amount of names I see, and I go, wow. You feel kind of depressed that you're like, I don't know who these people are. Like, that's a on me thing. Like, I should know these people. But I'm like, it's interesting to see how many names. And I feel like I know a lot of them, and then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I don't. Like, there's a lot that I don't know. And I don't know how you battle that.
How's that looking on?
Pretty awful. Would you like me to come fix it?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I got it set back up, so there you go.
It's standing again.
For those of you who are watching, we just watched a tripod start to tip back with the camera, and then it flipped over on its own. And so, again, gremlins, we had gremlin again, and I don't know, everything works. Saturday night and then Sunday morning. I love technology. I still say that we have the best team out there. Those guys fix, and so they had everything up and running for the 11 o'clock. And I almost feel like, we can say that we're live stream 2 services, but really, first service gives us an opportunity to fix. I think there's always there's this weird Junkin's like, do I need to come down there? I'm like, dude, I don't know why it just went. Like, for no reason. I'm sitting there watching it like, oh.
Yeah, we've only been using this camera for ever, and yet I don't know. I do have a I get frustrated because everything, we run through our tests and we do everything, and at 7:30, 8-ish, it's running great, and so we're rolling into, 9 o'clock or whatever, and all of a sudden, 10 minutes is perfectly fine, and then something pops its head up, and I'm like, it just frustrates, like, I get really frustrated because I know we're better, and I'm like, I don't know what else we could do to stop those issues from happening.
Yeah, when I walked in and I said, well, what's the issue? And you were like, like, we had internet, we had, it's a gremlin, man. We need to name running, our gremlin. I don't.
And I go, it's all running. We did kids at 8, and it ran great. we went through all the tests. It was running great. We had everything scheduled. First 10 minutes, 20 minutes of service, running great. And then just kaplooey. I don't.
Gotta love technology. But I am still loving the online world. Like, we have a lot of people tune in, usually average as well. I love it. But yeah, we've got content. We're going to start talking tonight about how to go to phase 2 of the opening of the church. Again, they're so vague. Mm-hmm. Like, because they don't ever mention church, because they know they're going to get eviscerated no matter which way they go with it. So it's a smart move on their part. But like, we've got Imagination Station is a daycare that is, if you don't know, they're moved in and become part of our church, and they are going to kick off June 1st.
Yep, they have their open house coming this Friday.
Open house. I went to walk into the sanctuary, and I'm like, there's 40 women in there. I was like, I am in the wrong place. I don't know what's going on.
I should probably.
I think they were having a meeting, like a get ready meeting, but they're kicking off June 1st. I didn't even know Kay Ivey was on the radio last week. When we get the donuts back yet, dog.
For real.
That's right, because you still can't self-serve. So you have to have somebody to hand them out. I guess we could have somebody to hand them out in gloves and,
gloves and masks and do all that.
Hazmat suit and all that good stuff. Actually, what we need to do is get the dinosaur suit from the kids and make somebody hand out all the stuff in the dinosaur suit, because it's like full body coverage.
It really, it even has its own fan on the inside, so it's just recirculating your air.
So there you go. See, I think maybe next week that's what we do. A dinosaur handing out donuts.
Dinosaur handing out donuts. I mean, the kids will really like it, so that's always a plus.
But yeah, so we're going to talk tonight. Phase 2. Do we let kids back in based on like kids ministry, based on the daycare rules? Are we allowed to have small groups? Are we allowed to have how many can be in a group? How many square foot? I think social distancing, adhere to social distancing is so vague. Like, what is that? It means something different everywhere you go.
Yeah, there's not. Some restaurants you see the tables in between, and now some of them have like partitions, like Full Moon Barbecue. You can sit at whatever table you want, like whatever booth you want, because they have plastic partitions in between each one of them.
Oh wow!
And so I was like, but write something on there,
and then write something on it. But I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't.
My filter was working. My child filter was working. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm sure my wife's very proud of me as well.
I feel like you.
She told me yesterday, because I actually took a day off and I didn't do anything. But when I have a day off, that means I'm bored.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there and I didn't have a project that I wanted to do. I had a lot of projects, but not one that I wanted to do. And so I just sat in there. And about 30 minutes into our morning, my wife looked at me and she said, "You're such a child." And I'm like, "You married me." Like 17 years. There was no expectation I wouldn't be when we got married.
Done.
So,
sorry. But yeah, I get the idea. It was nice. I forced myself to just not, even though I wanted to come up here and do some work, I was like, I can't, because I'm like, just do it on Tuesday. It'll be okay.
You know what I feel like, when this is just going back left field, you know what I feel like one of the cool things about Rona has been? In the tension of, you should wear a mask, you should not wear a mask. You need face guards don't work. You should stay at home, you should go out. Like, in all of that tension, in all of that world, what I've watched over 2 weeks, it's been kind of the neatest thing for me, is we're allowing people to just be them, and allowing people to be adults and make decisions for themselves.
Make big boy decisions.
But what I like about the outcome of that is, you know what I saw Sunday? I saw some people in masks.
Yeah.
My parents came. They were in a mask. Mom needs to be in a mask. Dad needs to be in a mask. We have people that are in masks, and then we have people that aren't. We have people that are wearing gloves, and we have people that don't. I walked outside. There was people in the parking lot watching it on something. I'm assuming that's what they were doing. I mean, I didn't go knock on their window. I thought I might get shot, but I just walked out there, and not legal, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, I just think that people are getting used to the fact that everybody's got different stuff. Everybody's got different,
I have seen more masks, but I go, even though you see masks, you just go, it's not like,
I don't think about it anymore.
I don't think about it.
I actually, I forgot to tell you. Chloe's coming. I thought I told you yesterday. We talked about it.
Did we?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I feel like we did.
I haven't prepped a mic for him, so he's going to have to talk loud. I haven't even prepped a chair for him. So
he's got a loud mouth. He can bring his own chair.
He'll have to grab his own.
Clay, come on up and grab a chair, man. Don't sit there behind the camera. If you sit behind the camera today, it just fell, so it may hit you in the head.
It may fall on you.
Yeah,
it may fall
for no reason.
It
just fell. Huh?
Yeah.
There's always room, dude.
Sure.
Welcome to the bunker. Just come plop it right there. You'll be good to go.
Try not to trip over anything.
Yeah. Don't unplug us. But yeah, I just think it's. I'm not a mask wearer, but this morning I wore a mask in Walmart for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Interesting.
Because I have them in my cars. Because I never know if I'm going to show up somewhere that mask is mandatory. Yeah. But
does that offend you, masks, if they say it's mandatory?
Yeah, that drives me nuts. Because I think that is, I'm just that guy, dude. I think it's an overreach. I think grown-ups can make their own decisions, and I think probably the worst people to be making decisions are politicians. Mask, but this morning I pulled up and I got there right as Walmart opened because I was doing some shopping for my wife, and I was like, it's primarily older generation people, and I sat in the parking lot for like 2 minutes because I was flipping through a video I was watching. And while I was driving, so it's what I do. There's nobody on the road that early. But so I got there and I finished watching the video. You're like, don't do that. And I looked around. I saw 4 or 5 people getting out, and they were all of that older, and they had masks on. I thought, just respectful. I don't want to make them uncomfortable, me walking up in there. So I put a mask on.
That's respectful.
Yeah. It was. Dude. Yeah. I snotted more in that mask than it was just sweat and snot. It was disgusting, but I was sweating like crazy.
Our company gave us one, actually gave us 2, and just to see what it would be like, I put it on, and it was as terrible as I thought it would be.
So this is Clay Matthews.
And that's my opinion. That is my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I wore it, but I'm like, it was hot, and I was sweating, and snot going everywhere because it's allergy season. But I was respecting the older generation. You're trying to see who's online. Your wife is on here, so don't say anything stupid.
I think I have a message from her waiting on me right now, too.
Because
is it a Marco Polo?
It's a Marco, yeah. It's always a Marco.
Always.
Yep.
Is it... Can you feel her look through text messaging? The mom look, like she gives you her...
Yes, it's usually going to be in all caps, and it'll be my full name.
So you are a Claydale?
This is the Claydale, yes.
Yes, you're the man of many tattoos.
Tattoos, that's one of my things.
Man, we were talking earlier about how you'll be impressed with my gardening skills. I've never told anybody that I'm good at certain things. I'm not good at gardening. I'm not good at planting. I mean, I can plant it. It's like keeping it alive that I'm really bad at. And
that's right.
So
Do I need to lean forward a little bit?
You're good.
I'm good.
I had a row that had nothing come up in it.
Yes.
And come to find out, I double planted the row beside it.
And didn't plant that row.
Didn't plant that row. So I got sweet peas, cantaloupe, okra, sweet peas, cantaloupe. It's entertaining.
That's cool.
2 or 3 years ago in Texas, 4 years ago, I crossed cucumbers and squash. Those are not good. Did you know you could have crooked neck cucumbers? And they have this weird yellow shell on them, and they're awful. They taste so bitter. Oh, they were bad. Yep.
I've never done that. I've
never
crossed species before.
Yeah, it takes talent. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm a pioneer in the gardening world.
There she goes. Like when he ripped up all the landscaping and.
We're going to talk about today. Does that make you nervous?
It does. It makes me very nervous. You guys make me very nervous in a great way.
We won't ask you any hard questions.
Nervous energy. So I was thinking about what I would say. If you say you're good at gardening, how would I respond to that? And I would say that it has a lot to do with preparation, the soil preparation. So what makes me a good gardener? It's not. Yeah. No, it's not that bad.
It's probably way complicated, and you make it sound so simple. But
I get a tiller and throw some seeds in the dirt.
Well, so you got to do more than that, though.
See, that's why none of my stuff grows.
So people's like, you're really good at gardening. It's like, well, I just spend a little extra time. I spend more time doing it than you do, or probably you do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to go buy bags of dirt and amend the soil. You got to go add the compost and add the.
Do you go as far as to like watch your nitrogen levels and all of those things?
I actually planted crimson clover around where I was going to plant my corn this year, so that the nitrogen would. Stats, don't laugh at me.
I'm really impressed.
So the crimson clover, when it grows up and it dries out, the nitrogen in its nodes, they fertilize the soil around that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what's the worst thing MK said to you this week? Don't
This
answer
week?
that.
It's only
Don't answer that.
It's
No.
only Tuesday.
David said, because MK, our worship guru.
Oh, what's the worst thing?
Yeah,
MK?
our worship guru. You and her are married.
We are, yes.
And you work where?
I work at Hunt Refining Company.
Hunt Refining Company. So,
Yes.
so you're an oil and gas guy.
Oil and gas, yeah.
Is there any fear and anxiety over that world over the past couple of months, or y'all been pretty steady?
Our work has been super steady, and we have really great leadership at
Awesome.
our company. Yeah, super thankful for that. It's a company that I feel like they're believers, and they make us feel like family. So
That's good.
yeah,
That's awesome. So Hunt Oil just running and gunning. So you haven't been laid off. You've been.
I'm
working.
not laid off. That's not why I'm here. I'm here because I'm off work on my off days.
Yeah,
I have funny
work
off
on
days.
your off days.
Yes, and I love you guys. That's why I'm
Oh,
here.
thanks.
Yeah.
I feel like we should hug.
6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah.
That's ish. So.
Yeah.
So,
I will hug you guys all day though.
no.
Okay.
Like, so we've got a lot of people watching, and I'm trying to figure out a great question to ask you right
Okay.
now.
Are you a hugger?
I'm a hugger. Yes,
So
very much so.
being that you're a hugger,
Yes.
has this been like quarantine and social distancing? How have you been able to still express your hugs?
How have I expressed my hugs during social distancing?
Yes.
I hug. I say.
He's like, I just hug him
You
anyway.
just hug me. I say, hey, have you gotten it? And they're like, no. Like, you're probably not going to get it. Give me a hug. That's sound reasoning. Yeah.
That's very sound reasoning.
Yeah, sound
Do you
reasoning.
have it? No. Well,
You're
let's
probably
hope.
not going to get
You're
it. So
probably
give me
not
a
gonna
hug.
get
Yeah.
it. So let's hug. That's
Yep.
a great.
I mean,
I'm gonna throw that out to the elders tonight and see if that can be our new policy. Yeah, because that's just no. That's so
Have you had
not, that's not okay. Hey, probably not gonna get it. Let's hug. No, that's awful. That's awful. It's awful.
It is terrible. Don't.
is
Yeah.
terrible.
And I'm not trying to. Be
What's
an
been the
example.
hardest part of quarantine for your family? You have a big family.
We do have a big, not as big as yours.
Well, that's
Yeah. The hardest part of quarantine has been. All right, so my son, my 15-year-old son, he got back into public school and has loved it, and he's been thriving. And the hardest part has been putting him back in homeschool. And
So he's kind of going back to
he
what
had
he
to go
came
back.
out of.
That's right. We really got used to him going to school, and it was really good for him. And he was doing a really good job. He's in an advanced program, and then he had to go back home and do school again. And then he got right back into the same crappy habits that he had before. So, yeah. So I guess that's really been. We have enjoyed
So
it.
you guys have homeschooled for a while. So I'm reading a lot of stats with school opening up in August that a lot of people are. Your wife says she's not.
Oh,
hungry.
yeah.
I would just ignore the comments.
Okay.
till later,
All right,
'cause
all right.
it'll be. I'll be sure to.
We'll go through them.
Yeah. But they. I read a stat that a lot of people are scared to put their kids back in school.
Yes.
Which is a fear of theirs, and so. They're saying like a 40% across the nation, of course. Like 40% of kids may start the new year doing homeschool stuff. How difficult is that?
Well, Mary Catherine is the one that heads it up at our house.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all both know how tenacious she is. She does not.
Never seen that side of her.
Right.
She's always so calm,
Really?
mellow, sweet. Like,
Yeah, and just kind of fly by the seat of her pants.
yeah,
she's doesn't plan
not
or anything.
organized at all.
No.
She loves it when I just walk up on stage or when I walk in Sunday morning. I'm like, hey, I got a great idea.
Let's add a song.
Let's add a song. Oh, by the way, I forgot. We got communion this week. Could you just throw something up there? I mean, how hard could it be? Just sing a song.
We need 2 more
We
songs
need
here
2
and
more
2
songs,
here.
and then I'd like to, bring in an astronaut from the ceiling.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I don't know if I could get away with it, but yeah, if we just repelled from the ceiling, I could do that.
That would be fun.
We got some airborne guys. I bet they would love to just rappel out of the ceiling.
That's right.
And then just start singing.
Yes.
Scott Sloss, Mitchell Bells, Wes Corman, Max. They could just all rappel down and just start
That's right.
singing.
And they could have flags attached to their backs.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You
I'll
can
run that
even
by your
stop.
wife tomorrow and see if we can make that happen.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a no, but
I feel like logistically we could make it happen.
We can set up a pulley system. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is how. So this is literally how ideas at our church are.
Y'all sitting.
And now, like,
this is a very dangerous place to be when it comes to ideas.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
So homeschool, you said you got
So
back into some
homeschool.
bad habits. What are bad habits of homeschool?
Bad habits would be.
Because like I've kicked around homeschooling, but I didn't like school when I went.
Right.
And so I really don't like, I feel like most kids are better off if they, unless they're in a specialized degree anyway, to just go to like a trade school or
I
something
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, I wish that I had done. I wish that there's 2 things I wish I had done. I wish I'd joined the military. I regret that. That's one of my only regrets. And then my other regret as far as school is concerned is I wish I'd done a trade. Yeah, I wish I'd learned a trade instead of trying to pursue some sort of academic degree.
Well, when you look at even the income ratio, you look at a mechanic or an electrician or my favorite, if I had it to do over again, I would be an HVAC guy.
Heck yeah.
Because it's always going to break and it's always either hot or cold.
That's right.
So you're always employed.
Absolutely.
And people, if you have your own business, when it breaks, they're in an emergency situation.
Yes.
So you charge whatever you want. Because let me tell you, I paid out the wazoo. Because my AC went out in August in Texas and I thought we were going to die.
Ours just recently went out.
Yeah.
Just recently, like a couple of weeks ago, and it hadn't even gotten good and hot yet. And it would, let's see, what was it, like 80 something degrees in our house?
Yeah.
And my wife and I, like, she would say something silly like, "Have you fed the dogs?" And I'd be like, "I fed the dogs!" And like, why am I yelling at her like that? And she said, "Well, I just asked you." And I realized it's 80 degrees in a house and there's no air moving. It makes a big difference.
yeah.
I don't suggest y'all ever move to South Texas.
Okay. No worries.
No worries.
It's hot.
I'm good.
It's hot.
When
It is hot.
we moved here to Alabama in July, and the day we were moving, it was 110.
How's the
And so-
humidity there, though? Is it bad? Is it as bad there as it is here?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean,
It's not a dry heat. Like everybody's like, oh, it's just dry heat. That's West Texas. But South Texas, they got humidity.
Okay.
But
you're
it's
in
not
the-
as thick as it is here.
Okay.
The closer you get to the coast, the thicker it is. But we were in the Brazos Valley, and so it was a valley.
Ah, yes, the Brazos. Yeah.
And so
Yes,
it
familiar
was
with the Brazos. Yes.
Well, great.
I'm not.
Sure.
Like you
Like
don't
a
even
valley.
know where the Brazos
We-
Valley
No,
is.
this is
We were
Brazos,
pretty
yes.
much surrounded by we were in a valley, and then we were surrounded by hills. And so once we got weather it's no moving truck is comfortable
Ever. Right.
and so it's just hotter and hotter, and I'm like, we shouldn't have moved.
I have zero plans to move, but if I ever have to, I think I'm just going to burn it all. Start over.
That's
Every
Easier.
time we talk about moving, I'm like, we're gonna hire somebody this year. And then I look at hiring somebody, and I'm like,
it's
it's just
There's
so
no way I'm
crazy.
going to pay that when I can just do it myself.
Yes, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
you got
I
a
should
bunch
And then
absolutely
halfway
do
into
that.
the truck, you're like, why did I not hire next time?
Next time, yeah, I'll always hire the guy next time.
I'm
my
telling
brother
you.
did that this year when he moved, and he was a happy person.
I bet.
Yep.
The only way I would move at this point is a house from one house to land.
Yes.
Like I would like to find about 50 acres and put some cows on them.
Oh,
and
yeah,
build
absolutely.
a house on some land.
For sure.
Out in our neck of the woods, out in East Mississippi.
East Mississippi, yes. Mary Catherine, yes, our pastor from Mississippi. Yes.
It does feel like I'm as close to Fayette as. How do you say you're a local?
I am a local.
You were born and raised here. What school did you go to?
Went to ACA, American Christian Academy.
ACA, that's a good school, dude. We've got
well,
their basketball coach goes here now. He's a great dude, super nice guy.
Who's their basketball coach now?
The girls basketball coach. Not
Okay. See, the school that
maybe
I went
the junior high too. Maybe I don't know. I've seen him at several games. He's coaching when Dylan's.
Okay. The school
He may
that
be the varsity coach. I don't really know.
Ugh.
I know he coached the girls because I walked over there and shook his hand while I was at ACA. ACA is a very intimidating place to play. All them Christians over there, they're mean.
Almost Christian Academy is what
they are mean
yeah.
fans.
The school that they're at now is not where I went to school though. It's a funeral home now. It's called Will's Funeral Home.
So you went to school in a funeral home?
I did. I went to
How'd
school
that go?
in a warehouse.
All the dead
funeral
bodies.
home. It was built a lot of character. It made me the man I am today.
So you went to ACA.
Yes, I did.
Tell us in a nutshell your story. So were you a good kid in school?
I was a great kid in school. My mother was.
How do you say Fayette?
Fayette. I just say Fayette.
Okay.
But I'm not a.
Well, there's some locals here that call it Fett.
Fett. F-E-T-T. Fett.
Yeah, Fett.
I went to Bubba Fett.
Bubba Fett.
Yeah.
That's instantly what I thought of.
Yay. Want to hug?
Okay.
Can we hug about that?
Well, we can't on live.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't hug. We can't
No
break the
hugging.
rules.
Okay.
I'll get an email
My mother was a math teacher.
from the governor.
From the governor? Yes, she's watching.
We've been saying we're waiting on her to call in, dude. It's the greatest show within 12 miles. I mean, I don't see what the problem. I know that she's sitting there right now going, I need some advice on phase 3. I'm going to call Scott and Matt on the In the Word show and get their valued opinion.
Right, and hopefully, their worship leader's husband is on there too.
Well, after my opinion went out on the radio on the Bear, I don't think anybody's calling me anymore. I may have said that she stepped across the line and
Yes.
violated our First or 14th Amendment and was discriminating against churches.
That's good though. I mean, you got to stand up for what we believe in.
Way to go.
Way to go.
You did talk yesterday.
I got a
you
call
talked about-
back from a congressman last week, though. I'm
Which
impressed.
one?
He called, not him, one of his workers. Yeah,
Okay.
because I looked at my phone and said Washington D.C. and I was like, Trump's calling me. That was
Yes.
my first thought. Was
I have arrived.
like I was as I watched it ring. I'm like, do I call him Mr. Trump, President Trump?
You're probably like that. You're planning
You
on
call
what you're
him
going to call
Don.
president.
Call
Trump.
Call him
Dan
Don. I
Trump.
figured he's
Don.
coming out to see if I want to play some golf and
You wanted to
Talk things over. Right?
talk things over and get my opinion since I'm sure they're watching this as well. But I got a call from Washington D.C. and it was
If we could
like
figure out how to get this on Twitter, we might have a chance.
we might have
to
a
see it.
chance. We might
Yeah.
have a chance. But
I can do that.
I had a congressman
Could
call
we? I
me.
don't know.
Yeah.
You'd have to have Twitter, and I don't have.
Adolhoff.
And what about do what?
I
was listening to him.
Adolhoff. Oh no, some congressman in my district.
Oh, I don't know.
He's
Yeah.
a federal guy though.
Okay.
She was like, "Hey, we got your email about churches." I was like, "Oh yeah."
And
She's like, "We're doing everything we can, and just want you to know that we got it, and all of that. I encourage you to contact your state rep." I was like, "Well, Kay won't take my calls," but you know. So anyway, back to your story.
Maybe she's waiting to call you back.
Yeah, she probably is. She should.
that's what it is.
I'm sure that's what it is.
Okay,
So you were born.
here in Tuscaloosa,
Yeah.
and I
You
was
were
homeschooled.
born. Yeah.
I
You
was
were born.
homeschooled.
There you go.
I was homeschooled.
You were homeschooled?
I was. My mother was a math teacher at Holt High School here in town.
Okay.
Yep. And after she had me, she realized that she could not take care of me and do school, so she quit teaching. And when we got old enough to go to school, she homeschooled us. And then when she got tired of that, she got a job at ACA. And that was 1992.
Wow.
So I was in second grade in 1992. My brother was in kindergarten, and that's when we started ACA, and went all the way through. And Mom taught there until.
And your
04.
brother's name?
His Kent.
Yeah.
K-E-N-T.
He's the guy that I've never met that you
That we
introduced
introduce him
me
every
to
single
him
time.
every single time. he comes to-
It's a thing now.
He's like, Scott, have you met
Have
my
you met my
brother?
brother?
And me and him are both like, yeah, the last 14 times you've introduced us, but that's good.
I have to do it now. Yeah,
It's just-
it was a mistake the first 3 times.
3 times, but
and
now
yeah,
it's
the
just-
past 10
it's-
times it's been for fun.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, mom was a math teacher. I went to ACA. I was real quiet and reserved, and I didn't have a whole lot of friends. I had a real core group. My core group of friends was at church, at Alberta Baptist Church.
Alberta Baptist.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. My core group was there. I'm still friends with them. John Paul Denton, and that goes to church here now.
Mhm.
And
You know the
his family.
Holbrooks, Lenny and Donna?
I know the Holbrooks.
Yeah.
I grew up with Lanny and Donna. They were at church. I didn't know their daughters or anything, but Lanny and Donna were always there, kind of leading the same way they're leading now. So just a church guy the whole time, and ACA and
ACA, Alberta Baptist.
yeah, just good.
Graduated when?
2002.
2002.
02. And you can take each grade that I was in. If in 1992 I was in 2nd grade, 1993 3rd grade, 94 4th grade.
She made it all the way through.
I made it. I did. I
And you
finished.
obviously took a math class.
I was the salutatorian of my class.
How big was your class?
It was like about 100 people.
About 100 people?
No, it was like 700 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 21.
7?
21.
I was like, so you were the salutatorian? But that's still good, dude.
Yeah. I got a scholarship to Shelton State Community College.
There you
Nice.
go.
And
I was not salutatorian in my class.
Me
Okay.
neither.
No.
Me neither.
I was
But
close.
we had
I was
more
pretty
than-
close.
Yeah.
At a 330, I think I was about 317.
So we had a few more than 21.
Yeah. But well, that was Cassie's.
It was tough competition though. It was a bunch
bet
of.
it was.
Yeah, there was a. We weren't dummies. There's only a couple dummies, but
Your wife is correcting me.
I know we
So
don't
you
need
were
to-
valedictorian.
Well, no, okay. So there was a girl that got to do her senior year twice, and on her second go around, her GPA was better than mine. On her second try,
How is that like?
it's an ACA thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's an ACA. Well, I don't know if it is now. I cannot speak for ACA now, but I know that back in the day it was a thing.
You could take your senior year twice.
You could if you were certain people. Yeah, I need to not talk
So
about that.
so you graduated ACA, went to Shelton State,
Right.
and grew up at church.
Grew up at church.
And then you met MK at some point in that.
Yeah, we grew up
Some
together.
point in life.
Yeah, we did. We grew up together. In fact, we went on a mission trip in 2001 to Guatemala together.
What'd y'all do there?
We worked with a group called Living Waters, and
Is that the ones with the? No, I'm thinking of a different one. The one that does the filters.
no, we didn't do filters. This had to do with children's groups that
Oh,
we would
okay.
work with. Yeah,
It's a lot like filters.
yeah, oh, yeah.
No.
Except it's not.
So y'all went to Guatemala and worked with
did
kids.
work with kids. I
Is this
came
with Alberta?
with Alberta. Alberta
Okay.
partnered with Living Waters Ministries, and okay.
This is my phone. It's the sound of a shotgun. Everybody just looked around. My phone went off, and it's the pump of a shotgun. It's always great when it goes off in the bank.
Yes.
It's great.
Did it again. So when we came home from that mission trip, I told my mom that I was going to marry Catherine,
Yeah.
and then I did. Not that year though, because I still had another year of school to go
Of high school or?
of high school. Yep, in 01 still had that was my junior year, and then finished up.
You just knew. Kathy watches. Is she on? Maybe we could ask her. Do you
She's not
like
on.
Scott?
She's in the sweatshop right now. So
Yeah.
she had me up at 6 o'clock this morning buying groceries.
That's good.
Well, I'm saying.
I have 2 jobs. I work for Big Bunts and
and you
I'm,
work
I'm wondering if Kathy's on.
for Jesus. Yeah.
no,
She watches occasionally, so
Huh?
I'm just saying.
So you met. Your mom likes you.
Well, our families love each other. I grew
Awesome.
up with Mary Catherine's family, and she grew up with my family, and we've known each other forever.
So you graduated in 2002.
Right.
MK graduated in 62.
no,
So how do
no,
y'all?
you said
how
I
do
know.
y'all, what? Isn't that what?
You need
You,
to stop.
Isn't
No,
that
no. Oh, she's gonna kill you.
yeah, she's gonna kill me. I feel the look right now.
yeah.
I've already had radiation in that side of my neck, but I
Yeah,
feel it coming
feel it
through
coming
the
through
camera.
right
You
here.
might get an all.
All caps.
Yes.
I might get all
Message
caps.
you.
If I get all caps, my whole name, I'm toast.
You're dead.
That's when. Does
you-
MK do what Cassie does? Like she'll use my whole name.
Oh yeah, in
Oh,
all
gosh,
caps.
it's
There,
like-
yep, there you go.
Do you think MK knows your middle name or your first name? Really?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Most people don't. So.
Jason Scott Wilmore.
Jason Scott. So y'all met,
We did.
and you didn't screw it up. So she said, "Yeah."
She did.
Way to go.
Well, and one of the coolest things my biological father ever did, and those of you who know my story know that my biological father was not that great of a guy. He's dead now. But I was playing Jesus in a church play, and she was the narrator. And one of the coolest things he ever did was, as he walked out of the church gym in Alberta, he said, I don't know your phone. He told Mary Catherine, he goes, I think Jesus has a crush on the narrator.
He's set you up.
He set me up.
Set you up.
Yeah, he set me up. Yep.
You just had to slam it home.
I just had to slam it home, and that was not in 2001. That was years later, after,
How'd you propose?
How did I propose to Mary Catherine? Well, so Mary Catherine is a theater major. She went to Montevallo, and the local theater means a lot to her. So I called up the local theater, Bama Theater, and this is before they had the digital marquee that they have now. So I talked to them, and I rented out the marquee, and wrote on the marquee, had them write on the marquee, Mary Catherine, will you marry me?
You had them write on the marquee.
I did. I rented out the marquee of the Bama Theater, Mary Catherine, will you marry me? And had dinner set up on.
You just made us all look bad, didn't you?
He really does.
He really does.
Really does.
And had her family waiting inside, and just assuming that she would say yes.
What would you have done if she said no? you got the whole family in the Bama Theater. She'd be like, man.
Yeah. Ooh, not right now.
Nah.
Not right now.
Good.
Yeah, we're good.
So she said yeah.
She said yes.
Y'all got married?
We did. We got married shortly after that. She
had a bunch of kids?
Had a bunch of kids. She planned the whole thing. Imagine that. She had this. She still has the notebook, so it's.
That's shocking.
Yeah, she has a notebook for everything.
That's
everything. Yep.
And so what brought y'all to this church?
What brought us to this church is initially we were looking for somewhere where we could serve together.
Oh, that's cool.
And find community and admit things about me instantly, and we just kind of fell in.
So you serve around here?
I get to serve. Yeah.
What all do you do?
I get to be the 5th and 6th grade Sunday school teacher for the Club 5-6.
Club 56.
Club 56, baby! And I miss my boys. I'm ready to see them. Club 56.
Club 56.
Dude, Colton loves that.
That's one of the...
when you come back, you're going to have a whole new set of...
Oh, yes.
That's going to be hard because y'all haven't really had that transition point. So you're going to have some leave, some move in, right? Your daughter's moving into that.
I'm not ready to give up those kids yet. I'm not ready to give up those kids yet. So
and see, I'm not ready to give
up.
Kind
of the cycle of life.
They're just going to have to wait for a little bit.
Maybe they can go to the 4th grade 2 years, like ACA.
Just kidding. I'm the valedictorian of 4th grade.
I'm the valedictorian of 4th grade. Or we could let them go to 56, where age appropriate.
There's a transition point, and when that point happens, the kids have asked me when they're moving up. And I have said, well, usually we say VBS is the last thing.
That's right.
Like you guys get to do as the kids.
Yeah.
And then we'll move you into Club 56. And so we've had some discussions about VBS, but date is fluid at the moment.
Allie's moving into Club 5-6.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Colton's moving up.
Oh, no, I'm losing Colton?
No, he's moving to 6th grade.
Oh, 6th grade.
That's where they become cool
grade.
with all the 5th graders. You're like, oh, you're just in the 5th
He's
grade.
upperclassman now.
I got chickens.
Yes.
And one of the things I've watched. There's a very spiritual point.
Speaking of 5th graders.
Speaking of 5th graders.
I got chickens.
Yeah. It's a very spiritual point. I'm going somewhere.
Okay, I'm listening.
So we hatched out some baby chicks.
Right.
And they lived in a trough. Man, I have no idea where this is going. They lived in a trough because big chickens will, hurt them.
Right.
And so we had to let them get big enough. And we got to a point where it was just like about half of them we threw out there because they were big enough. We had a runt and another smaller one and a crow, I'm pretty sure. Got in there somewhere. He looks like a crow anyway, but he was smaller, so it's a crow that thinks he's a chicken now. And it was fun. So the verbiage pecking order.
I do, yes.
It was fun for me to watch the chickens and realize that is exactly what youth ministry looks like I've spent a lot of time as a youth pastor.
Yes.
And you sit there, and even like I watched my daughter did it. It's like, you know, they're in junior high in the 8th grade, and then they move up to 9th grade, and all of a sudden now they're too cool for the junior high. I mean, not that Saturday and that Sunday, you know, from when they were in.
They changed
you know,
a lot, yeah.
I mean, 4th grade, and next Sunday I'm in 5th grade, so, you know, now I'm a big shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of growth and maturity in that week, I'm sure.
In that 22
In that,
hour.
yeah, 22-hour time frame. But I watched the pecking order, and you know, some of the red chickens. I've red and white chickens, so
Okay.
the red chickens were picking on the smaller chickens,
All right.
bullying them around, doing the pecking order thing. And the reason is because the white chickens, when we first got them, because red chickens had been brought into that situation. And the white
they were
chickens
just-
would bully them.
Okay.
Well, the white chickens are at the top of the pecking order, and so now it's the red chickens' turn
To get,
to get at the baby chick.
they're just letting them know,
And it
right?
looks a lot like youth ministry.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
everybody's about to have to reset pecking orders.
That's right.
Like my son Dylan's going from 8th grade, so he'll be going from junior high into the
Senior
high school.
That's right.
And we've got a big class coming, I think. 4th graders moving up, isn't there? How many is there?
We looked at it pre-Rona, and I feel like we had 12 moving from downstairs up, and 12 moving from 4th grade
Up
out.
to over.
And so we were like, we're going to get instantly, like, really, really young upstairs and kids.
Yep.
So we're trying to, like, tackle that and figure out. We
Yeah.
had a bunch of kindergartners come in.
We had a really big class of seniors graduate. What do we
Yeah.
have?
There was a lot of them.
15 or so kids. And
How
so,
many? Well, how many was it? Was it their first or second year of senior?
I assume it was all their first.
It was all their first year senior.
They went to
Okay.
a school that, you know,
They-
actually,
one
typically
try.
you only want to
One-
go
one
one
and
time.
done,
Because if you
yeah.
have to repeat your senior year, that's usually not a valedictorian kind of situation. So that's why when you said that, I'm like, that makes no sense to me. Because if you have to repeat a year, that's. But anyway, I don't care. Not my deal. But but yeah, so you're gonna get a whole new crop of Club 56. Where
I'm
else
pumped
you
about
serve?
it. I get to be a deacon here.
Yeah?
I love it. Yeah, I have some
So
families
you
there.
get some families that you're over. And
I
all
do.
that good
I
stuff.
do. I have some families that I get to send out messages to.
You've
and check on
actually
them,
talked
and
to the youth a few times.
That's terrifying.
Yes.
They just sit there.
Which one's more terrifying, coming on here or talking to the youth?
Youth. The youth.
The
They
youth
just
are
don't-
terrifying to talk.
They are. They just sit there. You crack all these jokes, which apparently are dad jokes, and I'm some kind
There's
of
not.
boomer.
There's not.
You're like, I'm a boomer.
I'm a boomer now. I used to be cool, and I'm Generation X, baby. You know?
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
not. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
cool. I listen to cool music,
Yeah.
and
At least it was cool mid 90s to mid 2000s.
it was cool. It's
So you're not really a 90s child. You're more of an aught child. Early 2000, 2000 to 2000.
I am, but because of my friend
Were you
group-
Saved by the Bell guy?
No,
Aught?
no, I
Yeah.
didn't.
An aught. Have you never heard it called that?
Yeah,
The
I
aughts.
have not
The
until
aughts.
right now, but I
Yeah.
get what you're like.
2000 to 2002, kind of the aughts.
2000 5.
Boomer. No, I'm a No, I was.
Once
I
a week, I
liked
guess.
those things.
This really has encapsulated the mission behind this show
Mm-hmm.
of actually being literally about nothing and something at the same time.
If you can walk that line of nothing and something,
Mm-hmm.
the dichotomy.
Yes.
Church is one big dichotomy. You either got to be discipleship or evangelism. Well, you got to either be a
can't-
show about nothing or something. But why
Right.
can't you do both?
Why can't you do both?
We've
Yeah.
always said
it's
it's
the
not
same
different.
coin.
It's the same coin.
Same
Jesus
coin.
was evangelism and discipleship.
Mm-hmm.
One shouldn't be greater than the other because if you only do one, you're missing half of Jesus. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Full measure, truth, and grace.
Wow.
And so, yeah.
Past Sunday, we talked, it was all about bold prayers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being bold in your prayer life. And so, my question would be, what is your bold prayer? What are you praying boldly for?
I pray boldly every day that I can see the one that God's intersecting me with.
Ooh, that's good.
Like I do. I want to, like when I'm in Walmart, I want God to point out that person. You know, do I need to go pray for them? Do I just need to buy their milk? Do I, anything like that. Most days, really nobody, right?
Yeah.
But every now and then, God will put somebody, and I'm like, and usually he puts somebody like when I'm in a hurry or something, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there. And then when I do, it's such a blessing for me to be able to step back after it's over and realize, wow, that wasn't just for them, that was for me. It's like be interruptible. And so my bold prayer is probably, because I know I used help me. I mean, there was a season in my life when I had cancer that help me was really big. God, I'm hurt, at any given time somebody comes at, your kids or your family or something like that, ball field, you hear somebody, screaming at your kid and you just want to get up and, choke slam them, but I don't. Anyway, so I have to pray sometimes about that is, God, give me patience. I think that's the thing I lack most is patience for, certain people. So
Patience.
That's my bold prayer though is to allow me to see it.
Yeah.
Because I think so often I'm always like in 84 different places. Yep. People are always like, "Why didn't you wave at me?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't pay attention to the road." Who does that?
I'm just driving.
I'm watching a video. I'm listening to a podcast. Talking to Cassie. I don't pay attention to the road. And so I think a lot of times I just get in my own little world. And now that everybody's in a mask, I don't know who anybody is anyway, so I don't feel like I have to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So I can go right into the grocery store and just be like, boop, 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 boop. I had a lady the other day. She was like, "Hey, Pastor Guys, what's up?" I had no idea who she was. She had a mask on and a hat on, and I'm like, all I could see was her eyes. I'm like, I called Cassie. I said, I just talked to somebody for 5 minutes, and I have no idea who they were because I couldn't.
A lot. And I just jumped from one thing to another, and if I had a RA basketball coach tell me one time, say, keep the main thing, and that's what I pray for daily is that I'll keep the main thing, and I'll stay focused because I lose focus quickly.
Dude, the fact you said my RA basketball coach.
Royal Ambassadors, baby.
I speak fluent Baptist, and I know what that meant because I played RA. I played church ball for years.
I still know the pledge.
Oh, dude, I can't remember what I did yesterday. I fried too many brain cells back in pre-Jesus days.
As Royal Ambassador, I will do my best to become a well-informed, responsible follower of Christ. See? To have a Christ-like concern for all people. Learn how the message of Christ is carried around the world. Yeah.
To love, honor, and respect.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, no RAs.
No.
Okay. No, he was my high school RA coach, and he said keep the main thing, and that has
Time for one more question.
Time for one more question.
One more question for Claydale or myself.
For Claydale or yourself. I really thought the bold prayers would take more of a time, but I guess you guys pop those out real quick. So way to go. Way to come prepared, but not.
On point today.
I do have.
It's not Monday.
That's true.
Dude, Mondays you ask me that question, I'm like, God is great, God is good, let us thank you for our food. Bow our head till we pray, thank you God every day, amen.
Yes.
Did you ever do that breakfast prayer? Or food prayer? God is
yes,
great,
that's how we grew up, yeah. That's how Mom taught us to say the blessing.
Yeah, that's how I learned.
And then she quickly went into Acts. You ever how to pray? Adoration, confession, thanksgiving, supplication. Yeah. Then she taught us that quickly so that we wouldn't
hang in the little kid prayer.
Right. Get out there, after the ball game, somebody say the prayer. And God is great. God is good.
But you'd actually have something.
They would have something
more
to say. Yeah.
So Clay, do you feel like you have swagger when it comes to the church world?
Oh, I don't know.
So
that's a good question.
Wow.
That's like, boom,
I guess,
welcome to the show. You just thought we were all funny there for a little while.
I guess we should preface it. You defined swagger as?
Bold confidence.
Bold confidence.
Confidence.
How do you have swagger or that bold? You can go look them up all you want, but how many kids walk away from church and walk away from Christ after high school?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I feel like we have actively targeted here in saying how can we prepare kids so when they get into those moments, it's not bad to have a moment of and that's okay, and how do we set them up to be successful and stay true to what they know. But for you, I'm like, how do you how do you walk in that swagger as a 56 guy?
I identify as a 12-year-old. Mentally. No,
And there's your deep answer for the day.
I get on their level.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
how
get on.
feel.
No,
Let me go a step further with that.
Sure, yeah.
You're a deacon, right? So you're around the leadership table. You're young.
Yes.
You're young. So you're a leader in several areas within the church. How do you have confidence in that with you being young? I mean, how old are you?
I just turned 36 a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're young compared to, So how do you have that bold confidence when you walk into 56 or when you walk into the church or you walk into the, the world? Because you talk to a lot of people. You're in that SOT world.
I do.
You're
Yeah,
in
I get
that.
to talk to people.
I
yeah.
know a lot of people come to you with junk in their life. So
I struggle with feeling worthy a lot of times. I feel like there's nothing I have done, and that's true. It's nothing that I've done. It's what Jesus has done for me. But there's nothing that I have done that makes me, that gives me some sort of pull or say so or anything like
Qualifies you.
Qualifies me. That's a great word. Qualifies. I don't have any qualifications for that, and I struggle with that. And then something just clicks in my heart that says, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Get out there and have fun.
Make the main thing the main thing.
Keep the main thing
keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah. So no
Serious people really struggle with fun.
Yeah, and I struggle with being serious.
MK struggles with having fun.
No, she's
I never
fun.
said that, dude.
I feel like she's super serious.
She's not.
She's not.
She's just well organized. Yeah.
Even when she gets me back for rearranging her office and stuff, you could tell that she did it because things are in just the right place and it's all
Everything is
strategically
exactly. I can ask her where anything is in the house, and she knows.
She knows right where it's
right where it's at.
That's a lot like me. I resemble that a lot.
No.
All right, so that's time for today. I got so the motivation this morning is actually, and I've been meaning to read this for a couple of weeks, and I think that it's a poem, and I love to waste it or use it for good. What I do today is important because I am exchanging a day of my life for it. Ooh, that's good. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving something in its place I have traded for it. I want it to be a gain, not a loss. I want it to be good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not forget the price that I paid for it. It's by a guy by the name of Dr. Hartzell Wilson. So today's a new day.
Today's a new day.
So as we walk away from this, we know that today is a new day. I'm not going to worry about yesterday. I'm not going to live in the past. We're going to move forward.
That's right.
And we want it to be good, not evil, success, not failure. And I believe that the way you can do that is by keeping... Dude, I teed it up for you, man. The...
Swagger.
No.
Okay.
Keeping the...
Main thing, the main.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Keeping the main thing, the main thing. And that main thing is Jesus Christ. A couple of announcements before we get out of here this week. We're doing church membership. Still working on exactly how we're going to do that because I don't know that we can put 20, 30 people up on the stage at one time.
And I specifically, David Wilbright is the guy I like having at baptisms because he sounds like Ric Flair and he's so excited, and I like that.
Woo!
Yeah. And so I talked to him yesterday, and I said, "Hey, I need you to sign up for second service.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we need
so
to
that so he can whoop it up.
So you can
I
whoop
like
it
that.
up, and I'm gonna put you in the front row. So just be ready."
I love it. So we've got that going on. That's this Sunday, non-Memorial Day. So I'm curious as to, how many people venture out because I saw a lot of people step out. They kind of wanted to see what we were going to do week one. And then after they saw that we did all of the things, the disinfectant and all that, I think we've done a great job in that world. I feel like they felt more comfortable. So this week could be a good-sized week. A lot of people getting back out and about and all of that world. So, but we're going to have membership. And we're going to have baptism and communion. But communion is going to be not as long because we have communion to go cups.
Communion to go. I remember those.
Yeah, like I call them Highlands. It's what Highlands
It makes
uses.
me, I miss.
The hardest part is getting the cracker out of the
I
top.
like night of worship because you get Hawaiian bread.
Yeah.
And that
right.
always, I feel like that's, if we're going to eat bread, I want Hawaiian bread.
Well, the wafer that you're going to put in your mouth this week, if you remember correctly, it will suck all.
The back, this cardboard backing that you
Yes,
have on
and
here.
put it
and
in
they
there.
just sliced it and then sprayed it white. And it was,
Yeah.
there you go, it's done.
See, I think Hawaiian bread is the way to truly go.
I love it. Yes.
Yes,
It's delicious.
But we're going to do all of that, which means we'll probably have about a 15-minute message.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
that's a lot. And by the way, MK, if you didn't know, communion and baptism are this week. And so we'll need to add that song, But see how that works?
She knows now.
She knows now. There you go.
Yep.
No excuses.
It's only Tuesday.
And Matt would like to request Good, Good Father
Okay.
as that new song. What's your favorite worship song?
Have you heard of Jesus Freak by DZ Talk?
Yes.
That's my favorite worship song.
Some old school tempo.
I was
That's
like,
right.
Old school.
you are an aught.
All right, bad. Yeah, but I listened to Creed on the way to church instead of,
Wow.
yeah.
I like Creed.
Creed's
I
awesome.
do like Creed.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and pray, get out of here. You guys go have a safe week. Can't wait to see you Sunday. SOT is Wednesday night. Kids is tonight. Is that right? Y'all doing a kids thing?
Yeah, today's Tuesday, so we'll have some things. Kids, I feel like it's this week, we get to decide, we're going to put out who gets slimed. So we've been building slime.
Oh,
for the
who
entire
gets slimed?
week.
I
Little
know my
old
kids are excited
Nickelodeon,
about
right?
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Scott's on the list, so
Oh.
in case you didn't know.
I just found out I could
Do you
get
think-
slimed.
Do you think MK would be okay?
Where
for
do
you
I
on the
get
list?
slimed at?
Well, that's to be determined.
Oh, okay.
Over your head, I can tell you that.
BBS? Is that?
Yeah, well, we're going to record it. It's going to be part of our.
Oh, the online stuff?
It's going to be
Love it.
probably part of the Sunday
I never know what
So
we're
we-
getting. He's like, by the way, you're going to get slimed. And Sunday he asked me to bring a leaf blower into church. And I'm always just like, yeah, I don't know. Lynn was like, why do you have a leaf blower this morning? I'm like, I don't know.
Slime?
Slime, leaf blowers,
Yeah.
you never know.
It's for another video, but
For us, we're going to be in Acts 5. I must obey God rather than man.
that's
I love Acts.
Your obedience.
Yes.
15-minute message. A lot of
Yeah.
people getting dunked. It's going to be a good Sunday.
I'm
Good.
pumped. Yeah.
a good Sunday.
Good Sunday.
All right, praise out. Let's go.
God, just thank you so much for today, God. Thank you for the rain that you brought in a much-needed dry area. And God, we just, again, praise your name. God, I pray a bold prayer that, again, that the nation would shake from the boldness of the prayers of the church. God, that our schools and that the virus hold no anxiety. Pray for our schools as they're gearing back up to open and all of the families out there as we're stepping back into the unknown. God, I just pray that as a nation we'll turn towards you in all things and that we can walk in a bold confidence, knowing that we don't have to fear if we're a follower of you. And we thank you for